Good morning, afternoon and evening, my crazies, and my name's Angela. I'm the Crazy Poppy Lady, and welcome back to the second part of first attempt at dyeing cotton. How bad can it be? Wasn't a tutorial. Come on, let's go and see what disastrous things happened when I rinsed out the yarn.
Back for the unveiling. Okay, this is the one with the elastic band on it. Now I did these about between 1 and 2 o'clock this afternoon. It's Sunday. It was FA Cup final for the women, so we went down the pub. I've only had a few, honest, but because of that we haven't got back until, what time are we on now? It's now 8:40 in the evening. So this has definitely had longer to soak in than what I was hoping for, but to be honest, I don't really mind. Hopefully we'll be okay. Right, so now it's a case of just rinsing these off until there is no colour left coming out by all accounts, so we might be here a little while. Now again, I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't know if I'm doing it correctly. I'm just doing it with a tepid water at the moment. Nothing too hot coming out. And that's looking like it's running clear. It didn't take as long as I expected it to. Let's double check. Yep, lovely and clear on that one. Okay, so I've just tucked that in the corner for the moment so that I can do the second one that was in this package. Now I know I'm safe to squidge them like that because these are the solid coloured ones. How do I get into it? There we go. Okay, the hot's just come through. I don't want to overly burn this lot. I think this one had a little bit more of the dye left in it than the first one did to start with. Now what I'll do is I will put on screen now, of course, which ones these are, because I will revert back to last week's video so I can see which one had the elastic band on it and which one didn't. Crikey, this one does seem to be losing a little bit more dye than what the first one did. As you can still see, it's still running in the water. And in some places it has lost some intensity. In this light you're not really going to see it that well. And to be honest, while it's wet, nor am I. So once I've washed these out fully, like it says to do, then I'll hang them up, dry them, and at the end of this video we'll show you what they ended up looking like. Come on, have you finished yet? Wait, the point where I'll be happy to drink it. Not quite. Now it says to use fabric, normal detergent that you would use to wash your clothes in. So I thought, hey, why not? I'm going to use some gold 2-in-1 because that's the stuff I use. So we'll get the first one again. Now, put some cleaner into it. Okay, that's brought out some more dye. Happy I did that actually. I wouldn't want to turn my fingers blue as I'm working with it, would I? Still got some suds down the bottom there. Right. There we go. Now this is the one, of course, that had the elastic band attached. So what I'm going to do is grab the end of this and reattach the elastic band. Okay, so I can at least hang it up to dry. Right, now on to the second one with a little bit of soap on my hands. Again, as you can see, it's starting to pull out a bit more of the dye again. At least I hope it's showing up. Oh yeah, you can definitely see the colour change there. Back to how I was doing it earlier. Just let the water run. So there's a couple of little variations here in the colour where it's slightly lighter around one of the ties there. So that may be just because I wasn't brave enough to get the enough dye on it. So how are we doing? Just get rid of the bubbles and then we're ready to go. And then we'll move on to the next unveiling. Not yet. Okay. Right, so that is that one. So I'm going to pop that one into the container as well, but I'm not adding a tie to that one. Okay, so now we're back for the giant rainbow. Okay, I believe this was the third or the second experiment. I'm not quite sure how to do this one, whether I do what I did last time with when I was rinsing out the blue by just squidging, or whether I should really squidge separately. So I'm going to squidge and rinse each colour section, I think, because that's going to be the safer option, she says, hopeful. We're going to start with the blue because that's going to be the most annoying and the darkest.
See some of the green's gotten onto the yellow along with the red.
Hi Lil. That's my daughter, by the way.
Hello people, I am here to interrupt the thing with you.
Okay, oh, that's too hot. Cold, cold, cold. Thank you.
He's using it as a recording machine.
Okay. Okay, so out comes the blue. He says hopefully. Yep. Now we'll go for the next darkest, which is of course the green. So we've gone from the blue lagoon to a green lagoon. The majority of that out. Now move around to the yellow. Onto the orange. Get out with that yellow. And then last but not least, the in-your-face pink with the touch of purple at the end. Right. Fingers crossed. Yep, we're doing alright. Turn that down a minute. Time for the detergent. Okay, it's pulled out a bit more of the green, but we're doing alright. Not lost too much. Now for the speed rinse. There we go. Fingers crossed. I've not tangled this hank up too much. There we go. That blue was that bit that I dyed and I wasn't meant to. But there we go. So that is how that hank is now looking. So that's pretty good. Now this was the mini. So again, as I said, I will put the make of yarn that I used to over dye up on screen. This is the one that had the green start and then the light pink at the end, so fingers crossed we can keep that light pink section. Oh, got a bit more on that green to come out. Right. Now for a dab of fabric milk. Time to rinse. Don't run down the drain. See the purples and the pinks are starting to mix in this one. Guys, look at those. So that's that one done. Now for the next one. This was the blue that I think I dunked. I'll put timestamps onto the time when I actually did these as well, I think. Right, that's as much as me as you guys. Oh, too hot, too hot, too hot. Now I've got a little issue with my water pressure. My washing machine's on at the moment and my daughter used the leftovers to dye a top. I will show you a photograph of that one as well later. But of course, every time the washing machine stops taking in water, my pressure goes up, as you just saw. Only happens with the washing machine. Really strange. Right. Oh, I've tangled this one. There it is. Okay, this is going to have to be untangled later. Ah. Bit rough with this one when I was rinsing it, but there we go. As you can see it has got a speckling halfway through. So once I work out the middle of that one, I will come back and show you it again at the end. Okay, the next experiment is this one here, the one that I just dunked it in and left it. So has it dried out? No, it hasn't. Beautiful. In it goes. There's still a bit of dye there. Problem. So let's go back to being gentle, shall we? Oh, don't tell me I've knotted it already. No, there we go. Now, I know you can hear squelching now, but the squelching isn't actually from the yarn. These gloves are rubbish. And as you can see by my little finger, full of water, even with my elastic band trick on. Oh. So the squelching is not the yarn, it is in fact the gloves. Time to empty them. Okay, next one up, next one up. Trying to remember what they were called. Okay, we've got two left, gang. Just the two. Right, okay, so this one was the one where I was using my gloves to splat on it. Okay, so let's see what this is going to turn out like. Okay, doesn't look too bad. Bit of water going again. I'm just going to let this one actually try and save a bit of water in. Okay, there's not a great deal of dye, as you can see, coming out of this one. It's probably the worst idea I've ever had, but we'll see. Of course, it's now all skewy and getting all wobbled around. Alright, hold off. Yep, not a lot of dye at all off of that one, which is brilliant. Again, what I'm going to do is let these dry. Oh, and then I'm going to re-hank them, I think. So sort of give them an untwist. This will be the second one that's a bit of a messy knot, so I won't be using that trick again. Back to the tack it is. Okay, so here is what the speckled one is looking like. A little bit of a hot mess within its ties, but I'm sure I can straighten those out soon. So let's just give that a bit more of a switch. There we go, and put that with the rest of them. And the very last one that I used the kids' toys on, or should I say hubby's toys. Wow, these colours have come out really lovely and quite bright. I know the lighting in here is not the best this evening, so of course once these are dried, hopefully they will be a little bit brighter in colour for you to see. I'm sorry, but the girls were playing footy. We've got to show them the support, and we won. Okay, right, or should I say they won. All I did was sit and cheer. Okay, so let's get this one in the sink. Okay, so let's get on with this last one. Oh, there's a lot of bleed on that green and the blue down the bottom there. Oh, it's too hot again. That's better. I don't quite know how to do this one because it is very mixed muddle of colours. So let's do it in subsections. Okay. See if we're getting any more colour run off it. No, that's good. Okay, let's grab it right there and time for the detergent. Yeah, there's not a great deal of runoff on this one. Okay, now it's a case of rinsing it through again. There we go. And that's the last one. Okay, so I don't know if you can make this out on here. Now, once I had finished rinsing them and they ran clear, of course I gave them a gentle squidge and then I popped them on some kitchen roll just to help suck up some of the water. I may have done something wrong here or not, I don't know. But as you can see, on some of them, the colours did still bleed out. Okay, so that is what the paper tissue towels look like. I've now got them hanging. I'll show you in a second.
Right, so before I spoil it and show you what they actually look like dried, it's time to do a little bit of a product review. Now this one I did buy a good few years ago with my own money. It's not affiliated and I'm getting nothing from Aldi. Okay, now this initially cost me $3.99. It was the tie-dye, so I'm trying to read it here, the tie-dye kit in neon from the So Crafty range. This was out in the baskets for a week. That was it, a week. You had to grab it and leg it. Now I only bought the one because I didn't know how good it was going to be and whether it would be any cop for dyeing acrylic yarn, which is what I initially bought it for. Then I read the back when I got home and found out that really I shouldn't be using it on acrylic, so I decided to put it on the shelf and have another think. That's where it sat and stayed for over a year. So, of course, as you know, I dyed the cotton. And I will show you what the colours look like in a moment. Now, in regards to the kit, as you saw on the dyeing video last week, if you haven't had a chance to watch it. It is a very good giggle. But the caps were jammed. In some cases, the little safety toggle at the top didn't come off. Other caps would have needed to be pierced, and also they didn't all sit properly on the bottle, or when you gave the bottle a bit of a squidge, if the top of the cap was sealed like it was on a couple of the colours, then the dye came out the bottom of the cap. So in fact, didn't actually come out the top, it just squirted. I'll show you what I mean. Where are we? There we go. Nice and washed out, you see. So this bit didn't come off on all of them. Okay, and if you do, you have to yank it quite hard. I still haven't managed to get it off the blue one. And the dye would come out of here, this section just here, if you squidged and it wasn't pierced at the end. The bottles themselves are washed up nice at the end. The dye powder was already in the tub, and there is also another pack of dye powder that I can put in these bottles if I so wish to choose to do that at a later point. The kit came with everything you needed to dye a t-shirt, or maybe even a couple of t-shirts, because of course there was the extra dye there. The gloves that are in there, absolutely useless. I've been doing cleaning today and I've still got dye under my nails. As I said, as you've seen on the last video, and maybe even some of this video, I have shown my hands on it. And now the gloves themselves were rubbish. I even sealed the ends of them around my wrist to make sure that no water got in. But of course, my little fingers got filled up and I ended up having to empty them halfway through and rinsing out as well. So yeah, not the best. I would suggest picking up some decent rubber gloves from a shop somewhere if you plan to use that dye. Unless of course you're not too worried about your hands getting dyed. As I said, it is coming off. It will just take possibly another decent soaking in bleach while I clean the toilet and the bathroom. But other than that, for $3.99, not a bad little price. Okay, so this is the bit you wanted. Here is the comparison on the yarns. Now, as I said in the videos, I was using these two colourways, okay? One being the Yarn Art Baby Cotton. Now that is mixed 50-50 cotton and acrylic, and this one is pure cotton. Okay, and this is from the Cygnet range. Now, this one is white, and this one is an off-white. I was expecting these ones to come out darker, so let's see what happens. Okay, so the first experiment that I did was the two blues that were both dunked. So I'm spitting out the words really, aren't I? They were both dunked, okay? And or saturated, is I think the technical term. And this is what they washed up like. Now this one, I've labelled it now so that I know exactly what it is. This one is the Cygnet. Now this has come out in quite a nice dark blue. There are some lighter, darker tones within it, but not as in white. It's actually a lot darker than what the camera is showing up. Okay, so the camera is actually showing it up lighter than what it is. Now with the there we go, with the yarn art, that didn't turn out blue at all. Okay, this is a purple. It's gone lilac-y on me. Now you're not going to really be able to see the colour difference here, so at the end of this section I will put some photos up and hopefully, fingers crossed, it will catch the colours properly. Okay, so I've put a dark t-shirt on in the hopes that you could see the difference if I put it up against the t-shirt. So you can see there is a definite tonal difference on the I'll get my brain, it will work tomorrow. On the Cygnet, as you can see, that's the one at the bottom, that is a lot brighter. Okay, so it's a nice dark blue. It's a bright blue. It's very, very similar to, what do we got? Oh, that's quite close. What's that one? That's the Cygnet. That's the Everyday DK in Saks. Okay, so very similar to the Saks. Oh, my shelves are going to look rubbish by the end of this. Now the purple, I've had a lot of difficulty trying to match that up because I don't have a lot of shades of purple, which is really, really strange. I thought I had every colour. I must have used some. Hold on, what we got behind here? Oh yeah, there's that one. No, it's a bit too much. It's a bit bluer than that. Okay, well, as I said, I will pop a photograph up of that. So those were the two solid dyes right at the beginning. Now the next ones were the rainbows. Now again, I dyed these at exactly the same time. Okay, so they got equal share of the dye. Now the two colourways are here. This one here is the Cygnet 100% cotton, and this one here is the Yarn Art baby cotton. So have you noticed a difference here, or should I say what's happening with all of them? The Cygnet is always brighter and it's holding the dye a lot more. Okay, so the colours are really vibrant on these ones, whereas they are more mottled and toned down in the baby art cotton, in the Yarn Art, sorry. So again, the 100% cotton is at the bottom, and of course I will add photographs as well. So that is what the colourways came out looking like. I really do like them, which is strange because again, it's a short colour change. I may not be saying that though when I start working with them. Okay, then we had the stick it in the bucket and leave it, which was the pink, the flamingo, that I'd watered down a little bit, and this is what it's come out like. Okay, up against there. As you can see, it's still really, really bright. Now that was done on the Cygnet base as well, so it was really, really bright. And the colourway is exactly the same as what it is on the bright version where I didn't water it down. So basically I hadn't watered this one down as much as I thought. Okay, so that again is really, really bright and it's saturated it. There's no white spots, maybe a little light and dark tonal, but not a great deal. So it's not like it's something that would drive me and my OCD crazy. Okay, what else was there? The one that I started off with the green and worked all the way down, painting it as I went, or dripping it as I went, I don't know what the terms are, and it ended with the really light pink that I nicknamed Play with Colours or something along that lines. That is this one here. So it's come in with the green. This is a bright green, whereas on camera it's looking more sagey. It isn't a sage green, it is a bright green, moving up into a mix of green and yellow I'm just going to turn this as we go, I think. Green and yellow. Then it comes into the purples and the pinks. And we do in fact have a very, very pastel pink at the bottom. So this one looks I love this one. It's absolutely gorgeous. Now I'm looking at it, I'm seeing fields of flowers, because of course the green and then the pinks. So you never know. I'm trying to work out what I'm going to do with them. So that's that one there. Then we had, what was it? It was the splat, wasn't it? And now the splat, if you haven't watched the video, you really should be watching that video before you watch this video. But this is the one where I dyed half of it, took it out the container, and then went splat with my hands. I was having fun. That is it. It was fun. But look at how this has turned out. I'm trying not to blow my own horn here. We've got the dark, and then it fades into spots and stripies and bits and pieces. And I don't know what to call the technique apart from I splattered it. But yeah, that is what this one looks like. There we go, up against the top. And what I've done there is when I rolled it up, I've put the two solid ends together as I was hanking it. That's the word, hanking it. So it then goes up into the light. Okay, so then we had the one where I went back crazy with the splat technique, going splat, 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 and I multicoloured it. So I used pinks, blues, and I can't think what else, but this has mainly turned out pink and blue. Stop. Oh, that way, isn't it? Oh, that looks better already. There you go. So that's what that one looks like. And up against, my lighting is so bad in here, it's not showing this one off. I really hope it shows the next one off. Now the last one was the one I've nicknamed, I think, Toy Box, because I nicked my husband's pound shop gunfiery spongy thingies, and I had tried my hardest to fire out the paint, the dye, but it went the wrong way, didn't it? So I ended up using the end of it as a dripper. So I dripped on purples, greens, the blues, and a touch of orange. So hey, why not? Now I've just noticed I have got a tiny bit of brown in here. A tiniest bit. But look at this one. I love it. Now, as I said, the lights in here are blowing this out quite a bit. I'm wondering if I turn my brightness down, will that work better? There we go. So there, look, as you know, it's the first time I've ever hanked anything, so there are some strands that are showing that shouldn't be. Okay, and that is what that one looks like, and this is what it looks like up against my top, although you can't really see it. So, to be honest, I thoroughly enjoyed making all of these, all of them. Some are in 10 grams, some are in 20, just so that I could see what the colour difference is and things like that would be. There we go. I'm not holding these in the order I showed them to you either. But I'm going to now add a photo on to the end of this little section here so that you can see them in a more natural light. Right, so that is it for me for today. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video and seeing the craziness that was crazy, yeah, this last weekend. Right, I'm gonna head off now. I will see you all really soon, so please remember to stay chilled, stay happy and keep crafting. Ta-ra for now, everybody.